Hello, you're tuning in the English News Bulletin on QPVN channel. I'm Chong Nguyen, and now let me keep you up to date with the headlines. Party, state, military leaders pay tribute to President Ho Chi Minh on the 95th founding anniversary of the Communist Party of Vietnam. Ministry of National Defense holds 2025 Lunar New Year briefing. Bringing happiness to the people, Communist Party of Vietnam's consistent and ultimate goal. On the occasion of the 95th founding anniversary of the Communist Party of Vietnam, on the morning of February the 3rd, a delegation of the Party Central Committee, the State President, the National Assembly, the Government, the Vietnam Fatherland Front Central Committee, the Central Military Commission, and Ministry of National Defense, along with ministries, central agencies, and Hanoi City, offered wreaths in tribute to President Ho Chi Minh at his mausoleum and to martyrs and national heroes at the monument on Buxton Street, Hanoi. The delegation included Party General Secretary To Lâm, President Lương Cường, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn, Permanent Member of the Secretariat Trần Cẩm Tú, General Phan Văn Giang, Minister of National Defense, along with leaders and former leaders of the party, state, and military. In a solemn atmosphere, the leaders paid tribute to President Ho Chi Minh, the great ingenious leader, the hero of national liberation, a world cultural celebrity who devoted his whole life to the country and people of Vietnam. At the Martyrs Monument on Buxton Street, Hanoi, the delegation offered wreaths in tribute to the martyrs and national heroes for their great contributions and sacrifices for the national independence, freedom, peace, and reunification. On the morning of the same day, General Phan Văn Giang, Minister of National Defense, chaired the Lunar New Year briefing of 2025. Sing Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết, Chairman of the General Political Department, General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army and Deputy Defense Minister, along with Deputy Ministers of National Defense, leaders of the General Staff and the General Political Department also attended the event. During the Lunar New Year holidays 2025, the whole military strictly maintained combat readiness duties, promptly promoted advisory role on the handling of military defense situations, closely coordinated to ensure political security, social order, and safety across the country. General Giang urged the whole military to uphold the determination to successfully complete all assigned tasks right from the beginning of the year, strictly follow all directives and commands on defense military missions, safely and successfully carried out the enlistment drives, ensure the progress and quality of the merge of agencies and units. Right after the briefing, the Defense Minister handed over the decisions to and congratulated officers of the General Logistics and Technical Department. Also, on the afternoon of February the 3rd, General Phan Văn Giang, Minister of National Defense, chaired the conference of the Steering Committee for Science, Technology, Innovation, and Digital Transformation throughout the military. The event saw the attendance of Sing Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết, Chairman of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army, General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army and Deputy Defense Minister, Sing Lieutenant General Võ Minh Lương, Deputy Defense Minister, Sing Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến, Deputy Defense Minister, and leaders of the Ministry of National Defense, the General Staff, the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army. General Phan Văn Giang emphasized the development of science, technology, innovation, and digital transformation as a decisive factor for the national growth, a prerequisite and the best opportunity for Vietnam to develop prosperously and strongly in the new era, the era of the national's rise. On the basis of Resolution 57 of the Central Committee, General Giang paid special attention to the viewpoints and task of ensuring national sovereignty in cyberspace, network security, data security, information security of organizations and individuals. It is a continuous and inseparable requirement in developing science, technology, innovation, and national digital transformation. He also highlighted the importance of scientific research, the summary of practices of a history of wars to continue developing Vietnam military art, the spirit of self-reliance, self-resilience, as well as dual use and modernity in the development of Vietnam's defense industry. On the morning of the same day, the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army held the Lunar New Year briefing, rolling out key tasks for February 2025. Sinh Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết, chairman of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army, chaired the conference. Senior Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết commended the agencies and units for thoroughly grasping and seriously implementing the directives of the Party Central Committee, the Central Military Commission, Ministry of National Defense, the General Staff, and the General Political Department on organizing the Lunar New Year 2025. Political education and leadership were carried out closely, creating high unity throughout the military. Officers and soldiers promoted high sense of responsibility and discipline observance, proactively overcoming difficulties and successfully completing all tasks. Emphasizing a number of key tasks in February, Sinh Lieutenant General Trịnh Văn Quyết required the agencies of the General Political Department to continue directing the implementation of political education and leadership, focusing on leadership and guidance of party committees and organizations at all levels to effectively prepare for party congresses at all levels, at the same time continuously completing the draft documents of the 12th Military Party Congress. Coming up next, bringing happiness to the people, the Communist Party of Vietnam's consistent and ultimate goal. The 95th founding anniversary of the Communist Party of Vietnam marked in France. On the occasion of the 95th founding anniversary of the Communist Party of Vietnam, leaders of political parties and countries around the world have sent congratulations to the Communist Party of Vietnam Central Committee and its General Secretary, Tô Lâm. In his congratulatory letter, President of Belarus Alexander Lukashenko wrote that the Communist Party of Vietnam members are always examples of true patriots who have pioneered in the political and social-economic development of the fatherland to build a strong, sovereign country. Today, the Communist Party of Vietnam is continuing the cause of socialism building and promoting Vietnam's role and prestige in the region and the world. Meanwhile, the leader of the Communist Party of the Russian Federation, Gennady Zyuganov, congratulated the Communists and the entire people of Vietnam on their great successes in implementing the outlined plans, expressing the hope that the traditional friendship between Vietnam and Russia will be further reinforced and developed. In his congratulatory letter, National Secretary of the PCF Fabien Roussel described the Communist Party of Vietnam and the French Communist Party as fraternal parties since their establishment. For the past nearly 100 years, Vietnam has fulfilled heroic duties to emerge as one of the most respected and dynamic countries with the best development. He voices the belief that the Communist Party of Vietnam, led by General Secretary Tô Lâm, will continue to gloriously surmount challenges of continuous development in the contemporary world, adding the PCF will always stand side by side and support the CPV on this path. The congratulatory messages from the Communist Party of the United States of America emphasizes that this party has always been inspired by the enormous achievements of the CPV and the Vietnamese people. Under the CPV's leadership, Vietnam has transformed from one of the poorest countries into one of the fastest-growing economies in the world. Vietnam is developing fast and asserting to the world what a socialist country can accomplish. The Communist Party of the USA is proud to share the joy with the CPV on the important anniversary and is confident that in the years to come, Vietnam and the CPV will succeed in reaching the important goals set for the middle of this century. On February 3, 1930, the Communist Party of Vietnam was established. It was a crucial turning point of Vietnam's revolution. since its establishment, taking care of the interest and the well-being of the people and becoming a country of rich people, strong country, democracy, justice, and civilization have always been put on top priority by the Communist Party of Vietnam. This is both the mission and the goal and the nature of our party, a revolutionary party for the people. On February 3, 1930, in Hong Kong, China, under the chair of leader Nguyễn Quốc, a conference was held to merge three communist organizations in Vietnam, leading to the founding of the Communist Party of Vietnam. This was a decision of historic importance, gathering the Vietnamese communist organizations into a single force with a clear and united revolutionary path. Since its establishment, our party has won the trust and love of the Vietnamese people. Since regaining the power, through many ups and downs and different historical periods, yet enhancing the lives of the people is always a top priority of the Communist Party of Vietnam. Over the past 95 years, under the leadership of the party, the Vietnamese people have gone through two glorious eras, the era of fighting for national independence and the era of innovation. From a once war-torn, poor and backward country, Vietnam has emerged as a dynamic, middle-income nation deeply integrated into the global economy. All of the party's policies are for the sake of the people. Our party has affirmed the motto, people know, people discuss, people do, people inspect, people benefit. These policies have been implemented, thus helping improve the material and spiritual life of the people. General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng always paid due attention to the bond between the party and the people and asked that all agencies and strategies of the party and the state must truly come from the aspirations, legitimate rights, and interests of the people. In the current period, the Communist Party of Vietnam, headed by General Secretary Tô Lâm, has been resolutely leading and directing the work on innovation and reforming its organizational apparatus, the economic, cultural, and social development associated with maintaining national defense security, and especially improving the material and spiritual life of the people. The party's mission is to bring the country into an era of development and prosperity, successfully building a country of rich people, strong country, democracy, justice, and civilization, ensuring that all people have a prosperous and happy life, contributing to the world's peace, stability, and development, human happiness, and global civilization. The whole Vietnamese nation is entering the first days of Lunar New Year. In the bustling atmosphere of spring, the people are ready to enter a new era with the aspiration to build a strong and prosperous country. The party is devoted to the people, and the people always trust and follow the party's leadership. As 95 years of accompanying and leading the country, the party always brings happiness to millions of people. On February 2nd, the Embassy of Vietnam in France held a ceremony at the Vietnam Cultural Center in Paris to mark the 95th founding anniversary of the Communist Party of Vietnam, February 3rd, 1930, February 3rd, 2025. Attending the event were Ambassador Đinh Toàn Thắng, Secretary of the Party Committee of Vietnam in France, Ambassador Nguyễn Thị Vân Anh, head of Vietnam's permanent delegation to UNESCO, and representatives of agencies, press offices, and Vietnamese associations in France. In his speech, Ambassador Đinh Toàn Thắng recalled the formation and development of the Communist Party of Vietnam, closely linked to the President Ho Chi Minh's revolutionary journey and his time in France. Reflecting on the country's development under the leadership of the Communist Party of Vietnam, Ambassador Đinh Toàn Thắng stressed that the Vietnamese community in France takes pride not only in being a movement personally initiated by President Ho Chi Minh, but also in its long-standing patriotic tradition, consistently supporting the homeland throughout the nation's history. The role of the parties is evident. Its objectives of eradicating poverty and strengthening Vietnam economically and socially are crucial. In the fight against corruption, the role of the late General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng has been highly regarded abroad, especially among overseas Vietnamese communities. Looking back upon the history of the Communist Party of Vietnam, our nation, and the President Ho Chi Minh's activities is a meaningful way to awaken pride in the party, the country, and our people. It also reinforces pride in the contributions of the Vietnamese community in France, generations of diplomats, and Vietnam's agencies in France in serving the nation's development, protection, and progress. The event also featured a special art performance titled Immortal Springs and a short documentary on the Communist Party of Vietnam, leaving a lasting impression on attendees. And that's all for now. Remember, you can always watch news again at QPVN.vn. Now, thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.